Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Shashuvagam Sastanubihi Yashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo Varishtanemihi Swasti no Brahaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti 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 Atha Ashvalayanaha
Atha Ashvalayanaha
अथ आश्वलायनः
Bhagavantam Parameshtinam Upasametyo Vacha
परमेत्यो वाच.
We saw Ashvalayana, who is already well versed in various knowledge. He is in fact an acharya in the Rigveda. Not only that, when you find that these Shishyas come and ask for this knowledge, they have already done a lot of thinking. Because the kind of questions they ask, we saw, are questions which indicate their depth of thinking. Ashvalayana is from the Ashvalayana Gotra. Therefore, Ashvalayana. He approaches a guru. The fact that in every Upanishad you find that the student approaches a guru indicates the need for a parampara. Everywhere it says that you go to a guru who is in the lineage, traditional teaching lineage. Shrotriyam, one who has heard this knowledge perhaps repeatedly and therefore has possibly understood this knowledge. So this parampara is indicated every time you find in every Upanishad, the Shishya goes to a guru. Here also Ashvalayana goes to Guru Bhagavantam Parameshtinam Upasametyo Vacha. Bhagavantam is revered, to the revered sir, to Bhagavan. Who is the Bhagavan? Parameshtinam. He approaches Parameshtinam. Parameshtinam is Brahmaji. In every kalpa, there is a Brahmaji who then is the cause of various Prajapatis. So he is called a Pitamaha, grandsire of the entire universe. So he approaches You have to approach a guru who is not only a Shrotriya, but also Brahmanishta. Brahmaji is different from Brahman. Even Brahmaji has to understand Brahman. So he goes to Brahmaji and asks for this knowledge. Nachiketa goes to Yamadharmaraja. Other students in Prashna Upanishad go to Pippalada. Other students like Shvetaketu goes to his own father. Narada Muni goes to Sanat Kumara. All are people who are Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, who can teach. Starting from Sadashiva, Parashara, etc., comes all the way down to Vyasacharya, and then to Shankaracharya, and then to your Guru, who is the last in the lineage. That is indicated in every Upanishad by saying the student goes to the Guru. In many Upanishads, you will not find the Guru's name or even the student's name. In many other, both the names. Here, Bhagavantam Parameshtinam. He approaches Lord Brahma. And not only does he approach, he used to go there. What do you ask a guru? I'm just going to sit in the class, whatever you say is okay. No, this Shishya actually asks for this knowledge. Arjuna did in the second chapter. I want Shrestha. I want moksha. I want that knowledge which gives me that. I'm confused. I'm not sure. Narada Muni asked the same thing. The video is not good. Then let us cut the video out. You have to ask. And you should know what to ask. What are you going to ask? Even when we went to Swami G for the full-time study, frankly, I wasn't sure what moksha is. I was also struggling. I'd been trying to find out what it is that I need to know. The fact is that every human being is a mumukshu. Every human being wants to be totally free. But we don't know. We don't know what we want. And we don't know what is it that's going to give me that thing that I want. I went through that also. But where does Shraddha come in? Because I realized that whichever it is that I want, the answer lies in the Shastra. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but I know it lies there. Even if I know Sanskritam very well, as some Western scholars do, and I read the entire Upanishad, it may really not make too much sense. I will have to apply my own interpretation. The moment I apply my interpretation as a human being, however high my IQ is, my human brain is limited. With that, when I apply on what the Shastra has to tell me, I am bound to make an error, bound to misinterpret. Shastra is all in the form of words. Normal conversation between two people where there's so much of misunderstanding. What one fellow is trying to say, other fellow misunderstands. In something like this, where you're not looking at the word meaning alone, you're looking at what the intent behind that is. You're not looking at the Vatshyartha. You're looking at the Lakshyartha. If I try to read by myself, the chances are that I will make a mistake. Very high chances. So what do? I go to somebody who is a Shrotriya Brahmanistha. All this is indicated by simply saying Bhagavantam Parameshtinam Upasametyo Vacha. He approaches Brahmaji and addresses him as Hey Bhagavan, one who has all the Bhaga. I want to know. Upasametya, approaching Brahman, the teacher, and asks for this knowledge. Uvacha, he asks. One can ask, why go to a guru? If I take any kind of knowledge in this Jagat, look at the process. What I learned in the 12th standard is built up on what I learned the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th standard. There is a progression there. You learn something, you build on that, you learn something more, you build on that, you learn something more, you build on that. And then you keep going. You do a master's, you do a doctoral program, that you go deeper and deeper into any one subject. You can do that with any object knowledge. And to an extent, you can actually do it yourself because you're building on what you know. On that you're building, on that you're building some more, on that you're building some more. You will have doubts. All you need is a tutor to help you clear those doubts. And you can gain that knowledge. But this is not that kind of knowledge. Dve vidye veditavye paracha paracha. Paravidya is that knowledge knowing which is as though you know everything. Very big statement. And when you go to a guru, having done all that one has to do in terms of karma yoga, in terms of emotional maturity, in terms of feeling secure in oneself, one goes to a guru, and guru from day one, he will tell you only one thing. Tattvamasi. There's no building. That is the knowledge. Second year, third year, fourth year, every time he says the same thing. He might say it in different ways, in different approaches to make one understand. But the message is the same. Unlike saying, when I start reading arithmetic, I first understand 1 + 1 is 2. Slowly I build on that. Then I build integral calculus. Then I build sets and theories and numbers and all the rest of it. But they're all built one after the other. But here there's no building. Straight away, the teacher says, Tattvamasi. And we don't understand first time. So he says the same thing again in a different way. Sometimes people who only listen to the Shravanam in a very surface way will say, Swami Ji, you keep repeating yourself. There's nothing else. There is no other knowledge. Tattvamasi. I've heard some people say, oh, all the time you keep saying, rope snake, plot clay. What is it there? There is nothing else. It is all, that is all there is. And Paravidya is just that. What is the nature of I? And it is one shot. Now, if you go to a teacher, a child goes to teacher mathematics, just somewhere the child has read 1 + 1 is 11. It is stuck in the mind. and goes to the teacher, and teacher says 1 plus 1 equal to 2. The child doesn't accept it. It is already stuck in his head that 1 plus 1 is 11. Then the teacher proves it. How 1 plus 1 is 2, not 11. You take one orange and another orange and add this. How many oranges do you have? 2 oranges. No, I understand. For him to accept that he had a wrong notion takes effort. Or you take situation where somebody, another person tells you that the earth is round, where all the time you're convinced that the earth is flat. You're convinced. It's a belief. You believe that if I keep going in one direction, I'll fall off the earth because it's flat. We know this history has happened. It's a belief. But it's a belief which is stuck so soundly in the mind that when somebody else says, no, that's not correct, it is round. You are willing to take the extreme step of disowning him because of your previous conviction. Or like the other case where all the time you convince that I'm the center of the whole universe, Earth is the center around which everything is revolves. Somebody says, no, that's not true. Sun is the center of your system around which all of the planets revolve, and you don't accept it because you're convinced. See, there is no logical rational. People say I'm rationalist, therefore I will only say this, but that's not true. They're not rationalist. Rational is when you understand it correctly. If you believe, you'll never be rationalist. So when somebody comes and says, no, sun is the center of the solar system, all of the planets revolve around the sun. This guy is already so convinced that Earth is the center. I am the center. Earth has to be the center. How can he say sun is the center? He's willing to fight with them. So that kind of this thing is there even in our Laukika knowledge. How are we ever going to get rid of that? Somebody who somehow understood it has logical reasons for why that is so. Why 1 plus 1 is 2, not 11. Why somebody says, look, I can see the sky is blue. Today it's gray, but the sky is blue. And somebody comes up and says, no, it's not blue. It really looks blue. No, what nonsense. I can see it is blue. My eyes, the pramana, tell me it's blue. How can you say no? So he's got to take all the trouble of proving to him that it's not blue. Blue is only what you see, a dispersal of colors. But that conviction, even today, if you ask anybody in the street, take a mic and ask him what the sky color of the sky, he will say blue. But we know it's not blue. So if you want to tell him, no, it's not blue, you have to really give him convincing reasons for why it's not blue. If he's got so stuck in his head on even this kind of Laukika knowledge, how is it going to progress from there? If your conviction, your belief is Earth is the center of the system, you don't want to call it solar system at that time, whatever system you want to call it, then you cannot move to the next step because you're starting a wrong assumption. Knowledge will never grow. This is true of even Laukika things. Here also we need to go to a teacher. One can say all Laukika knowledge, object knowledge, Laukika knowledge means all object knowledge. I can study on my own because I study one step, convince myself, go to the next step. At any step, if I convince myself wrongly, I'm finished. No more progress. But it is possible, difficult but possible. All this is Aparavidya. Even here we saw going to Guru becomes so important. If I have to talk of Paravidya, where my conviction of myself as this body, mind, sense complex is so strong, so firmly rooted, so firmly enhanced by everybody around, because everybody says the same thing, then how am I going to learn anything different? I tried to study Shastra myself. I say, okay, it says Tattvamasi. So I looked up the meaning of Tat, Tvam, and Asi. You are that. I'm what? Then some explanation comes. You are Ishvara. Then you laugh at it. Oh, I have Ishvara. What are you talking about? I know Ishvara is all powerful, all knowledge. I'm a nobody. My neighbor scares me. My neighbor's dog puts the fear of God into me. How do you say I'm God? If you're so convinced that it is like that, you will never be able to turn to knowledge. Why would you approach a teacher? If you're so sure that Earth is the center of the whole, because that's all the universe you know, why would you go to a teacher to ask, can you teach me? You won't, because you're sure of yourself. If we know that I am this body, mind, sense complex, I am born, I die, why would I go to a guru? Even though I tried reading the Shastra myself, I have some faith in the Shraddha and the Shastra, and Shastra says you are Ajaha. I have a date of birth, sir. I have my horoscope. How can you say I'm Ajaha? But what pushes you to go to a guru and ask? Can you explain? One approach could be that I go to the guru with my arguments to show I'm right. Why the guru is wrong? Why Shastra is wrong? But another approach could be that I have learned like this, I have concluded like this, but I am willing and open to look at any other perspective. If Shastra says something which is diametrically opposite to what my conviction is, I'm willing to go to a guru who says, I will explain to you the difference. Then you go to a guru and ask, this is my conviction, this is what I've understood on my own, but Shastra says like this, can you help me understand? I'm willing, I'm open mind, I can accept a conclusion that Shastra is wrong. I can also accept a conclusion that I'm wrong. So there is no belief here. You go to a guru to know, to understand. There is no new learning. It's all there. Knowledge is already all there. So when I go to the guru, I only have to peel off layer by layer of ignorance. The guru says, you are infinite. You are Purnaha. I'm not able to see it. You remember in the Bhagavad Gita, we've been talking about Ananya Bhakti. I'm convinced that I'm different from Ishvara. But Shastra says, no, I'm the same. So I pray to Ishvara saying, please help me understand how it can be the same. So both prayer and Guru Vakyam are important to understand. So in a situation like in any Upanishad, you will find that the student goes to a Guru, Bhagavantam Parameshtinam Upasametya Ovacha. He asks, he says that Ashvalayanaha, who is already a very well-read person, you will find that usually it's a well-read persons who are willing to accept another point of view. Pseudo well-read people are so convinced of their belief that they want to convince you rather than say, I'm open, let's talk about it. There are three types of vada. Vada, where you open to saying, let us look at what other perspective is. Or your vada, which is a vitanda or a jalpa. Jalpa is when I am only out to convince the other person that I'm right, you're wrong. And vitanda is the other way around. You're wrong. That's all I want to convince you of. Vada is different. But when a student goes to a teacher, it is not even vada. It's samvada. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Where you go because I have understood something or have concluded something, but something doesn't seem right. It is not complete. There's something missing. Then I go to Guru because he has learned this. He has understood this. And say, where is it that I'm having a little lacuna in my thinking? Therefore, I don't discard my thinking going to Guru. I go to the Guru and say, make me see where it is. That approach to a Guru becomes critically important in a situation like this. For another reason. You have studied a lot. Then you say, I know language, I know Sanskrit very well. I have a very high intellect. I'm going to read even something as simple as the Bhagavad Gita, which is also a moksha shastra, and I'm going to try and understand myself. There are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita. I start reading one verse and I find that it has, if I translate literally, which is all I can do, it doesn't make any sense. Because I don't have the total picture. I don't have the vision of what Moksha Shastra is, what Vedanta is trying to tell us. Only when you have that can an individual verse make sense. What is Purva? What is Para? So one cannot do it on one's own. One goes to somebody who has already done the whole thing earlier, who's got the vision correctly, who is therefore able to tell me how to read that particular verse. And in this process, we take help from Mahatma, Bhagavad Shankaracharya. And therefore we read his Bhashyam. Because every word can have several meanings, depending on the context, depending on what went before, depending on what's going to come later. So Guru becomes important. All this is the student goes to the Guru and asks. This entire thing has to be understood like that. Everywhere you see Gurumeva Bhigachi, Tadvitti Pranipatena, Pariprashnena Sevaya. Everywhere they say the same thing. Samanvaya. Go to the Guru and ask, please teach. And Shastra itself says, don't try to teach somebody who doesn't want ask for it. He will never understand. Because of all this that we're talking about. And how do you go to the Guru? not with Jalpa or Vitanda in mind, not even with Vada. It's a mind which is open, which says, I want to know. Therefore, the attitude that the student takes when he goes to a guru becomes critically important again. You go to the guru, pranipatena, sevaya, serving the guru. In many instances, you will find that the guru will not immediately teach at all. The reason is very simple. In every case you've seen, when the question is asked, the answer is never direct. Answer should simply be Tattvamasi. That's the answer. Whether it is Narada's question, or it is Nachiketa's question, or it is Shvetaketa's question, the answer is only one. But they will start elsewhere and build up to the thing of understanding what is Tattvamasi. That attitude of saying, A, I want to know, B, that the person I've gone to knows what he is talking about. There's a certain amount of Guru Bhakti involved there. And therefore, I'm willing to take whatever time it takes to be with the Guru, to hear what he says, to contemplate upon it, and Pariprashnena, ask. Doubts must come. Doubts will come. I have come here with certain conclusions already drawn up in my mind. Even after I've done Shravanam for many times, those don't easily go away. They are there in my mind. So I have to approach saying, how can it be like this? How can it be like this? How can it be the other way around? You will yourself notice one very interesting thing. If you remember the questions that came to your mind when you first started learning, and the type of questions that appear in your mind now, they're so different. After 2-3 years of studying, they will never be the same. So Pariprashnena, the questions themselves get more and more mature. And with a bhava of seva. That's why in all of these Gurukulas, you will find seva is such an important element of this bhava. Guru seva, ashrama seva, dakshina, all is a part of the whole exercise. One approaches with that humility, saying, I want to know. If I go with an arrogance, I know, you can't know. Your head is already full. So, Arshavidyalaya, Bhagavantam, Parameshtanam, Brahmaji, and Uvacha, approaching him, Upasametya Uvacha. What does he ask for? You can put this back again. Adihi Bhagavo Brahma Vidyam Varishtham.
Adihi Bhagavo Brahma Vidyam Varishtam
Sada Sadbhisevyamanam Nigudam.
Sada Sadbhisevyamanam Nigudam
Yaya Chirat Sarva Papam Vyapohya.
Yaya Chirat Sarva Papam Vyapohya
Parat Param Purusham Yati Vidvan.
Param Purusham Yati Vidwan.
Hey Bhagavaha, Adihi, please tell me, for my benefit, recollect and tell me. Tikagara says, Adihi Madanagrahartham Smara. For my benefit, recollect and tell me. Hey Bhagavaha, ये भगवान Samagra dharma jnana vairagya aishwarya yasha shriman is the explanation given by Tikakara. Bhagavan who has all the 6 bhagas samagram totally. He's praying to Brahmaji, addressing him as Bhagavan. You have all the bhaga, you have all the knowledge. Please teach me, please tell me, Adhihi. What do you want him to tell? Brahma Vidyam. Brahma Vidya is the Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman. Paravidya. Please teach me Brahma Vidya. Brahma comes from the Dat Bruh. Bruh, Rudhav. Growth. But Brahman, when you pronounce Brahman, it is that growth for which there is no further growth possible. Brahman is limitlessness. The Bruh Dhatu we use very commonly. Brihan Mumbai municipality. Meaning Bombay has grown further. Dhatu. But Brahman is where there is no further growth possible at all. That Brahman, which means that which is limitless, I want to know. Now, again, it indicates what the student here, in this case, Arshavidyalaya, has understood that there is something like that. Otherwise, how do you ask? You can't ask for anything unless you know that there is something like that. You can't even ask for an iPhone 16, because you don't know if that exists. Only when you know it exists when you ask for it. No? So he knows there's something called Brahman. He knows, he's heard, he's figured out somewhere that there is a limitlessness possible. When will that come? Only when you have looked at whatever you found in this Jagat and found that it's limited. You try again, it's limited. You try again, it's limited. However much you increase or grow, it is still limited. Till then, suddenly one day one feels, am I making a mistake? If I keep going like this, will I ever reach the limitless? I told you, every human being is looking for that limitlessness. Whether we know it or we don't know, every human being is a mumukshu. We just don't know. And because it is there in the back of the mind, we keep trying. It only becomes tring. It doesn't become trying. You can't get there. You can't get infinity through finite means. But some point one realizes that there is a limitlessness. One may not even know that I am that limitlessness, because I'm still thinking of myself as the body, mind, sense complex. But that there is a limitlessness. Even Arshavidyalaya probably knew that there is a limitlessness, but he didn't know anything beyond that. He went and asked, please tell me what is this? Hey Bhagava, please teach me Brahma Vidya. You know, when Upanishad is done, the father is supposed to teach the son Brahma Vidya. And it is a rahasya. I don't know if you've seen, there's a ritual that is done during Upanayana where they cover with the sheet, and then the father is supposed to give Desha, Brahmopadesha to the son. He can only give that if he knows, no. He knows, he can tell his son. But basically what they do is, at that time, Gayatri Mantra is given. And hope that the child will understand sooner or later that what is the Brahma, Brahma Vidya, Brahman. We now have those rituals, but I'm not sure how many of us know what we are trying to do. We are trying to learn Brahma Vidya. To gain that limitlessness. I use the word to gain that limitlessness. That limitlessness cannot be gained. Because we've seen that if you take it step by step by step by step, it'll keep on increasing but never reach limitlessness. There is no limitlessness if you go through the route of limited things. How is it then possible? Look at this, all logically spelled out. It is possible only when it is already there. If you're already limitless, then it's possible. How is it possible? Then I am already Purna, I am limitless, I don't know. Then how is it possible? By removing the ignorance. So this route that we normally take without understanding that what I want is limitlessness, without clarity of what we are seeking, we seek more and more and more of whatever we think gives us a sense of fulfillment. But look at it logically. It is possible only if it is already praptam, if it is already there. If I am already the limitless, I am the seeker, I am seeking limitlessness. That limitlessness is I. The seeker is the sought. Only then it's possible. Absolutely logical, no belief anywhere. So if Shastra says you are Purna, you can break it down logically and say, yes, it has to be that way. There is no other possibility. Nanya Pantha. It has to be something which is already achieved, already there. So, when you go to the Guru and Guru opens it out like this, unfolds the whole thing, then it becomes, oh yes, there is a possibility there. Even if I not completely, let me put it that way. I'm convinced at that time when I'm sitting in the class with the teacher. Then I go out and then the wife says, there is no rice in the house. All that I learned in the class is gone. You won't get rice. But repeated Shravanam, repeated Mananam, repeated understanding, it is logical, it is Tarka, but Shastra Anukula Tarka. That's possible. You know, science now says the world is unreal. Now, even somebody with the IQ of Einstein had difficulty with this. He said, if I don't look at the moon, I tell you the moon doesn't exist. And the argument could be that other people can see the moon, other people are observing the moon. If I don't see it, other people are seeing it, the moon must be there. But where is the fallacy in the argument? That observer we are talking about is where the fallacy is. That observer is Ekameva Advitiya Sakshi Chaitanyam, not Mr. Einstein. Everybody sees the moon. Yeah, sure, they see the moon. Therefore, the moon must exist. Moon exists because even though everybody that you're talking about, they exist because Sakshi Chaitanya. Without the Sakshi Chaitanya, none of these will exist in the form that they exist. So, it's not good enough to say that everybody says that. Everybody can also be having the same false notion. Everybody says I means the body mind sense complex. Yes, everybody says that. But that need not be correct. Everybody says the sky is blue. Need not be correct. Even in Laukika examples, we can see that. So he says, Adihi Bhagavaha Brahma Vidyam. What kind of Brahma Vidya? Varishtham. This knowledge, Brahma Vidya, is Paravidya. It is Atishayatena Shreshtam. It is the ultimate knowledge. It is that knowledge knowing which it is as though you know everything. This as though is something Swami G added, I've continued to add that. Shastra said, it is knowing which you know everything. And then there are a whole lot of examples of that. If you know clay, you know every product made of clay. If you know gold, you know every product made of gold. Whether it's a ring or a chain or a bangle, it has the same malleability, atomic weight, everything else from atomic number. It's the same. So if I know gold, I know all of these things. If I know all of these things, there's also another very interesting thing. If I know that completeness, limitlessness, there's nothing more to know and there's nothing more to do. I do something because I feel a lack. I feel I can improve. I feel I can increase. But if I understand Tattvamasi, there is nothing to do, nothing to know. It is the only knowledge which you can formally claim, I have no more ignorance. Can you think of any other knowledge which you can say that? Any subject. The guy who's got 3 PhDs on that subject, gone so deep into it, even he will tell you, the more I know, more I understand how much I don't know. You can never make a statement, I am no more ignorant about this subject. I am very knowledgeable. Yes, you can say that. Only time you can say, I am no more ignorant is when you know Purnatva. No other knowledge. So he says, Brahma Vidyam Varishtham. The knowledge which is the ultimate knowledge, knowing which you don't need to know anything else. It is as though you know everything else. But if it is like that, if it is such a knowledge, it's such a difficult knowledge, very few people know it. Is it possible that nobody knows it? Is not noble at all? Look at the way he words his question. That Brahma Vidya sada sadbihi sevyamanam. All adjectives to Brahma Vidya. That Brahma Vidya which all sadbihi, wise people, are constantly resorting to, always resorting to, Sevyamanam, Sada, forever, because once you have the knowledge, there's nothing more. You become Nishtha. Nityam, Sada, Sadbihi. Who Sadbihi? Wise men. The Tikakara says, Dehadishu Atma Buddhi Shunyahi, who have clearly understood that I am not the Dehadi. Atma is not the body, mind, sense complex. Dehadishu Atma Buddhi Shunyahi. These wise people are constantly resorting to following this knowledge. Sada Sadbihi Sevyamanam Nigudam. How many adjectives? Varishtham, Sada Sadbihi Sevyamanam, and Nigudam. Nigudam means always covered. By what? By ignorance. By the same mistake everybody makes. This knowledge is staring us in the face, and yet it is not available to us. This knowledge is Nigudha. Whole chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter. Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga. The king of secrets, because he's staring at you in your face. Sometimes, I don't know if it happened to you, I'm sure many of us have experienced this. You're looking for something in a drawer, a key in a drawer. You look everywhere, you don't find it, but it's there only. It is there. We just don't know. Why is it that this is Nigudha in the sense is, we try to look for it using the five senses. The five senses are incapable of finding this knowledge. We think we're very intelligent. We argue. How can you say that Ishvara is all powerful? I can't see that Ishvara. You can't see. You're using the wrong pramana. You know, somebody will tell you, if he tells you that this food today, I can't smell the food at all. I'll be trying with my ear all the time. I can't smell the food. That's what I keep saying, very nice smelling food. I can't hear. How can you hear smell? You're using the wrong pramana. How can you know Brahman using these pramana? These are all karya, part of the unreal. How you could know? So use this only and say, no, it doesn't exist. It's Buddha. There are cases where thieves are stuck in a house and they've broken open all the drawers and taken out whatever is available, but what was standing right there on the mantelpiece they missed. Right there. This knowledge is Nigudha because of these reasons. Sarva bhuteshu atmani vidyamanam api avidyaya nitaram samritam rahasya vidyam. Staring us in our face, but because of our avidya, ignorance, we nicely cover it, we don't see. Therefore, he says that Brahma Vidya is Nigudha. Nigudham Brahma Vidyam Bhagavo Adihi. Not only that, Arshavidyalaya knows that something like Brahman is there, knows that there is something to be known. Unlike most other people, who are all mumukshu but don't know they are mumukshu, that there's something called moksha to be understood, that jnanam has to be gained, they don't know. He knows that. Not only does he know that, he knows something else. That's why I said, as a shishya, as a student, he's a very erudite student. He knows that there is something called Brahman. He also knows that if you understand that, what benefit you will get. In the world, generally, we say, if I acquire this, I will get this benefit. If I acquire conveniences in the kitchen, I will save time. Ultimately, it doesn't happen that way. Okay, I think you actually don't save any time. But we know that if we get this, we are going to get this benefit. If you're doing sales training, they will tell you, don't keep saying what is the product plus what is the advantage. Tell the customer what benefit they are going to get by using your product. You should know what is the benefit you're going to get. Arshavidyalaya not only knows that there is Brahman to be known, if he asks for the Brahma Vidya, he also knows that if I can get that knowledge by removing the layers and layers and layers of ignorance, what benefit can one get? We'll take a few minutes to look at that. We'll maybe continue next week again. Say, Yaya chirat sarva papam vyapohya parat param purusham yati vidvan. You look at that. Put it on, put it on. Yaya chirat sarva papam vyapohya
Yaya Chiran
Sarva
Sarva papam vyapya
parat param purusham yati vidvan.
parat param purusham yati vidvan.
All the benefits you get by knowing this. Yaya achirat sarva papam vyapohya. Dropping all ills, I reach the highest position, highest form. Parat param purusham yati. Vidwan, the one who understands, the one who gains his knowledge, will reach the highest. Highest means what? If you already say Purnaha, there's nothing higher than that. Therefore, it's highest. We will look at this in a little more detail in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om